Yes, yes.
Does my friend here have any things he wants to say?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was looking at yesterday at some things relating to, well, it was yesterday and the day before about world hunger.
Oh, yes.
And it's interesting. There's a site I found. I don't know if you've ever seen it, where it explains to you. It's something called the. Let me get the name. It's called the P. It's related to the. Where is it? It's called the. It's called something like PMA. It's like the death rate per 100,000 people.
All right.
I don't know if you heard of that.
No.
And they got the ranking for the different countries.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, see the pages like that.
Okay, Somali, Mali, right. Okay.
But here's what's interesting. What this page does is it's blank at the moment, but these 4 buttons.
Yeah.
You press them to get the map.
Okay.
So if you go to low, you can see which countries come in as the low ones.
Oh, right.
They're all up north, isn't it?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And then if you go to the purple, which is the next ones down.
Right. South.
Middle sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the green ones is quite bad.
Okay.
And it's interesting the way it's countries which have been. You can see how they've been affected. But if you look at that map, what do you think's missing?
Well, you've got so the grey is low, purple is high, purple is medium, green is sort of medium, high. Where's the red?
Yeah, but if you look on the map, you notice there's a big place missing.
Death rates per 1,000, age, standardized.
But just look at the map itself. You should see that there's a whole part which is kind of like not there.
Oh, you mean Africa, part of Africa? Or am I not seeing?
Well, no, you can get that. Just press the red one.
Okay, right.
There it is.
Okay.
And
can I just ask a question? Excuse me. Are you going to be speaking next week?
No. 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
And the weird thing about this is when you look up in Europe, the country with there's some countries in the north which are like purple, and the weird thing is that the United States isn't one of the grey ones, and neither is France, which I find strange, and it seems like neither is Italy as well. And so what this essentially means, because if the number here is greater than 0, that means someone's dying of starvation in the country.
Okay.
So for some reason in America, they're rating, because what it is, this number that they give you, this is the amount of people that die per 100,000. So when you go to the United States, it is 0.9.
Okay.
So it's 0.9 per 100,000.
Right.
What that actually means is, because it's about 350,000, I think, population. So to work out how many people are starving to death, you have to multiply the 0.9 by, it's 100,000, so you got to 1 million, gives you 9. And then you times it by 365, so that's 39. It's quite a lot actually. Yeah, so it's 9. Have I got that right? Yeah, so it's 9 people. 0.9 per 100,000, so it's 9 people per million are dying. And that's right. So 9 per million, which means this is 365 million people in America. Or let's say 350 million. That means it's roughly 3,000 people are dying of starvation, like at any time. And you kind of wonder, in a country which is that prosperous, the number, someone might, if you ask a billionaire, he said the number's small. But of course, for those 3,000 people who are dying, for them it's a really huge number. And it's just the way that in somewhere like America, and this is, because the reason why I mainly came to you is that, with the Catholics, do you know if anyone in the Catholic Church is like taking this is like, how do you say, not really responsible, but looking into it.
There are various charitable organisations
Yeah.
that address poverty in various ways. So I can't name. There's famous on Caritas,
Right.
it's charity, love,
Yeah.
but there's so many. Because they operate across the world. Right, I can't say anyone has any particular. I don't know anything about any particular view on this sort of thing.
So I suppose what I'm seeing is that with the charities, because what I seem to find is that it seems to be the case with most charities, what they do is they have like like something that they're going to do. So someone decides that we're going to do work on this particular, help these particular people. But what I'm wondering about charities is, do they ever have like a final goal? Because when you think about how big the Catholics are and how much resources they can get together, you think that with so many Catholics being in America, even though these 3,000 people are like spread all over the place, I just think they have a high priority to at least sort these people out first. Even if you can't get to another country, then the 3,000 people, they're in your own country.
Yeah, so, I think the first one would need to know why you've got in the USA or Italy people dying of hunger.
Yeah, that's.
But there may be special cases like your parents may be drug addicts and they're not feeding a kid. The child dies of hunger.
Yeah.
So there'll be all kinds of reasons why it happens, in a developed country. And of course, sometimes you'll not be able to do anything about that.
Right.
So if you actually do devote all your resources to that remaining relatively small number, instead of say going to some other part of the world where you can address the deaths of a lot of people in a more direct way with the same resources, it does sometimes make sense to go to another country. However, I don't think it's thought through logically like that. I don't think it comes into the people's minds about these people who are dying, because there's a whole network of social services which, for example, in Britain there's a Children Act which would ensure that nobody would die of hunger. And so if anybody dies of hunger, it's contrary to law. It doesn't need the Catholic Church. You've got in other countries various kinds of regulations and systems. The USA has food stamps, has all kinds of things. So if somebody dies, I don't think that needs the Catholic Church to be involved, because it's a state that's got full capacity to prevent that happening, and it's a better instrument because it knows exactly. It's got social services to check.
Well, it's the fact that these numbers obviously come from somewhere, and it's the government who should know what the numbers are. So, and then I was just thinking that they obviously should know most of the people who died, because you've got death certificates, especially in a developed country. But I suppose the reason why I mentioned like the churches is because what seems to be the case is that we obviously know about corrupt governments, and it's as if they would, because their priority seems to be make sure the economy is growing, and anything that happens by the wayside, you just try and deal with it. So it's as if that is their main priority. So the fact that if they see a certain amount of people are dying, then I can see how a politician would say, oh, the number's really low, so we don't have to worry about it. Whereas when it comes to something like the church, we'd more be saying, even if one person died, we'd be concerned.
I don't think the Western governments take that view. I think that it's just people fall through the cracks for various reasons. Bureaucracy the welfare bureaucracy, some would say, is too big, but no matter how big it is, it's there to prevent starvation. And if people starve, it's kind of like, it seems to me it's accidental. All the European welfare systems are able to prevent starvation amongst anybody. And again, it comes to how I don't think there's an ability of a non-state agent to find those particular people, because I think they're going to be like for example, children of drug addicts or children of neglectful family life, and then they'll come in as statistics as dying of malnutrition. But really, it was all the factors which prevented them from their parents getting the benefits to feed them.
Well, they should be able to get the benefits, but you mean like
but they're using them for other things. Or they're so useless, they're not even claiming the benefits. Because even if you can't get benefits in Britain, because you say a refugee who's not allowed, you get help from social services for kids.
Oh, they get loads of help from people coming.
I know, but even if
Yeah.
You're not officially entitled to benefits.
Yeah.
Social services have duties to children.
Yeah.
So there should be no children who starve in Britain. So if it happens that you see if there's some kids in Britain, that's because they've fallen through the cracks in maybe one of the ways I talk about.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you worked out what it was for Britain, and it's about 65 or
Okay.
so roughly.
But it's so small that
Yeah.
it's because of those kinds of reasons.
Yeah.
Some idiot parents.
But one thing I do find interesting though is that we were talking before about the way that the West are attacking the communist countries.
Yeah.
I don't know if actually when I looked up the number, where do you think Russia is?
Well, I've no idea actually.
Well, actually, they depending on where you look, because there is one where they actually come up above us, but
China.
no,
We're
China
not doing anything to China.
Yeah, China's not too.
In fact, they're attacking us.
So for here, it's 0.09, and then for Russia is 0.11.
Okay.
So it's only
So
just
it's
about.
very similar.
Yeah, but remember,
Yeah.
people keep going on about these communists being so evil. But yeah, the one thing about communists is they seem to know how to feed their people.
Oh, they're not communists anymore though.
Huh?
It's not communism anymore.
What about, well, then you'll be rolling in his grave, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but communism officially ended there, back in 1990.
But it's alive and well in China.
But actually, what about Vietnam? That's still communist?
They're semi-communist.
Right. Interestingly, their number is 0.11 as well.
Okay.
So Vietnam, they know I bet you if the Americans were still there, the number would be a lot higher.
Well, if the war was still going on, yeah.
Yeah. So this one, getting rid of the Americans was a good move because now the people are hardly starving compared to how it must have been, when the Americans were fighting.